What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Legacy Brand Podcast, where we leave no topic undiscussed. On this platform, we like to keep it real, full of honest opinions and thoughts, balanced between a man's and a woman's perspective. Our aim is to encourage and educate our Black community by bringing topics to the table and starting the conversation.
Good evening, man. Welcome to the Legacy Brand Podcast. It's your boy Trez, man. And we're definitely discussing a very interesting topic today, man. Something I think that's gonna get the people attention. So we're talking about gender roles in relationships today, and this conversation always sparks a lot of different opinions, a lot of different views, a lot of different positions, man. And I think the two people that's here with me today actually gonna shed some light on some very interesting takes, and also myself, man. I got a few interesting viewpoints on what's going on with this, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off to these guys, let them introduce themselves, and we're gonna keep it rolling. So let's get it, man.
Hello. Ajah Johnson here. Nice to be chilling with y'all, fellas.
Oh man,
interested for the conversation. You know, got a millennial.
Is in the
underscore as told by Jai underscore. You know, all that good stuff. There you go. Who I got next to me?
It's Born Real.
Jonathan,
John, wherever you see me, just say what's up, just throw us up. We kicking shit, Legacy Brand.
There you go.
We're about to get into it.
The Born Real family is in the building.
Born Real
family is in the building.
Right?
First and foremost, shout out to my brother over there, man. Clarence Brockett, man. Brock in the building, man.
Yeah.
Mr. Brockett Financial himself, aka Morris Walnut.
There you go.
Chestnut. In the building with my homie, man. So let's go ahead and get this popped off, man. Let's go ahead and get this popped off.
What's up?
So,
gonna get spicy.
So, man, the first question is, what factors influence gender roles in relationships? So I'm gonna let y'all take over, man. Go ahead and take off. Whoever wanna go first, man.
We could probably just go like one by one. Shit, I say
let's take off.
ego. That's ego.
You stole my answer.
Yeah. I definitely did. Cause we
Number one, though.
Elaborate. Go ahead.
Number one,
ahead.
ego.
Elaborate.
You know, you got pride going on. There's tradition. There's what that people see. There's social media. But I'm glad you started off with that ego thing, though,
you said that's number one?
because I really do feel like, I mean, it's ego on both sides, men and women. To where they feel like they just have this automatic stance to, actually it's entitlement. That's the word of my mind. It's entitlement issue. Because even though this is a side conversation to what we're talking about right now, that whole head of the household phrase and even submission phrase, they're not meant for a dictatorship. They're not meant for weakness. They're not meant for division. It's really just, trusting that, trusting that in our conversations, I trust my man to lead and make the final decision, but he's also going to include my opinion in that process. And submission is not weakness either. Your ego cannot just can't prosper in a healthy relationship.
Because
it's not.
In a healthy relationship, when egos get involved, pride creates an environment
That's
where you're not going to overtake my thoughts and opinions.
Right.
I will readily go against you just simply because you're trying to down my opinion, or you're trying to lower my standards of what I think. And I think in that we have to understand, especially as men, that you don't always have to lead from the front. You have to be confident enough in your woman's strength to understand that she's capable of driving the ship and leading the charge. And a lot of times I think men are afraid to relinquish their role just simply because they feel like it's a sign of weakness. And understand this. And this is a lot of times why women say that men are scared of strong women. Why? Because they feel like that takes away what they stand for. Masculinity is always channeled into, I'm a provider.
Want me to tell you something though, bro?
What's up,
they'll throw that back in your face though. Like if they not providing how a man should, you feel me? Or the woman is providing more than the man. Then, like, say y'all get in an argument or something, like, she gonna throw it right back in your face.
It's ego and pride at that point, because I gotta attack you in order for me to feel good.
And the crazy thing is, who wrote the book on who's supposed to provide what?
Oh, come on. Like, that's gender roles, though, from long time ago.
And that's the thing. Like, I think when these roles came into flourishing, I think it was more so out of necessity for the times, as opposed to something that was actually productive. Because think about the times in the 50s and the 60s, the wars was going on, and then you had like women weren't allowed the same luxuries as men. They weren't able to go out and work a job.
They just had to stay in the home.
They had to stay home and protect the family and do those things. And I think we took for granted how much more work that was than we ever realized. Yeah, you're in another country fighting for your life, fighting for our country. But at the same time, these women are home keeping the household together,
yeah.
raising your
True.
children to
True.
be productive citizens
Mm-hmm.
in society. And I think if you fast forward to today,
Mm-hmm.
the women are still doing those things, but they're doing 10 times that because now you got so many.
Yeah, they got more things.
More things. They got more chances, more opportunities.
Yeah.
And they definitely is more girl bosses than you ever realize,
Facts.
especially like during this
That's
quarantine. Man, shout out to the girl bosses.
Shout out to the girl bosses.
The black girl magic that's going on out there. I
Yeah.
see a lot of women coming up with their own businesses, leading the charge, being on the forefront, on the front lines,
for
man.
real.
And I think as men, instead of taking that as something we can utilize, we fear it. Like we look at it as, what am I going to be good for if she's already capable of doing?
What else can I provide?
Yeah.
And
What
see,
else can I
I'm
provide?
glad you said that because that segues into how you had said back then it was a necessity how it was. Because granted, at the end of the day, the only thing that the man could do was go out and make it back home. And that, you know, right. And as women back then, their only main concern was, I need you to go out there, do what you got to do, and come home safely.
Right.
Like, there's nothing else you need to worry about because I just need you to come back alive. And now we're at a space where providing means something completely different. And now we're at a space where that relationship is a dual process because it's not as separated as it used to be. We both can go to work. We both can mow the lawn. We both can do the dishes. We both can take care of the kids. If you want to be a stay-at-home dad, cool. Want to be a stay-at-home mom, cool. Like, we both have luxuries and opportunities that they didn't have before. So now you have to ask yourself, what else can you provide as a man besides finances? What else can you provide as a woman besides sex or besides your emotions or whatever? What else can you provide?
Exactly.
Right, like besides the bare minimum that everybody think is a gender role.
And what I think, that's why with gender roles, I think there's a reason why it's plural roles. You have to be versatile.
That's good.
Within your relationship.
Yeah.
Because there's going to become times where you're going to be inconsistent in an area as a man and as a woman. And on the opposite side of being a significant other, you're supposed to pick it up.
That's it.
Because like even in the times now that we see with the pandemic going on,
True.
I could lose my job tomorrow and not be able to provide. But what happens after that? If our relationship is based on a financial means and of me only providing, at what point do we live through this? How do we make it through? Because I think sometimes we enable each other by saying we need to stick to these roles again when there's no rule book on there.
But it's like it's so outdated. You feel me? Like it's not even like.
Cause I look at some of these women today, and I look at all the capabilities. Like, cause I come from a household where I watched my mom play both the role of the secondary provider and the primary provider, and I watched her thrive in the primary provider role because she could do everything. Cause she was versatile. She was able to be there for us as a family, but also understand she had to know she had to go out and pay the bills and make it happen. So when I think about that, I'm like, as a man, if a woman can go out here and do all of those things and still be emotionally available, still have empathy for any situation that's going on with you, your family, and in the world, and still have the ability to keep her composure, why can't we afford the same things as a man? We don't only need to provide financially, we need to be there emotionally, we need to be there spiritually, and we need to provide room for her to grow as an individual.
Absolutely. And I've been blessed with the opportunity to see my parents continue to be married even all throughout quarantine or whatever. I mean, they old school at the end of the day, but I think my dad was going through that transition. I mean, anybody knows my dad, he is literally like top-notch gun. Like, he just do everything. He handles it all. Like, he got it. But it came to a point where he had to relearn that. And he had to, I never really saw my daddy wash dishes. Like, to keep it very practical. I've never seen this man wash dishes until, like, probably the end of last year, this year. Like, it literally gave him the adjustment to, like, we're in the 21st century. There are things that have to change. Like, my wife is going out there and she doing everything she got to do. Granted, I'm working from home, but it's going to look different for me now. So it's like, as men, how do y'all even have that conversation of, okay, my woman has, you know, all of this put together. Like, in your mind, how do you keep from just saying, well, the only role I can provide is finances? Because you have to understand that you got to adjust. I think sometimes men get caught up in a lot of things. Other things that influence men is social media. Like, when you listen to music, especially music nowadays, you listen to a lot.
That's key too.
Like,
music, social media.
Think about music back then. Like, you listen to R&B music from back in the day.
People was in love.
And these men were willing to lay a coal on the ground for their woman, or willing to go home, cook, clean, run back.
They got an apron on.
They was in love, like they were taking a shower. You know, when they in the shower, they start singing.
This man is in a bathtub with roses in. Like,
understand it, because I think those men understood that having a woman in your corner that's able to provide peace,
that make you better.
That makes you better, and it makes you function better, and it makes you move smoother. Yeah. But nowadays, you hear, oh, I can go buy a Birkin, or I can go do this, and men utilize that to their advantage, because now, oh, because I can buy this, I'm a better man than the next one, so you should be with me. Ooh, as opposed to understanding that you don't need all of that to be great for a woman.
Even for a woman. You looking at other women like, well, he buying me this, he buying me that, but like, your man don't talk to you. Like, you're not a safe space for him. Like, y'all don't have no emotional capability. So are you really a better woman than I am, or
what I put the 50-50 rule in? Because like, say a nigga providing, doing all this, taking care of all that, but hardly does. You know what I'm saying?
And I think, this is why we're gonna transition into that next question, because this is why this is one of my favorite topics. Because like, so my next question to everybody into the streets, man, the 50-50 rule, man, we're gonna speak on that because I think so much get lost in translation with the 50-50 rule, because somewhere somebody believes that it was wrote down that I'm going to pay half the bills and you going to pay half the bills, and if we don't do that, we can't be together. That's not how that comes about. I think a lot of times with the 50-50 situation, a lot of people take that literal, like it's set in stone. Right. And naturally, if a man cares for a woman and loves her, he wants to provide everything in the world. Naturally. Like, it's a natural inclination. Like, you see it when it starts in your household. When you see your mom or you see your sisters or your aunts, whatever they ask you to do, you instantly want to go do it, so their day is smoother. Why? Because you want, as much as they do and you see how much they do, you want to make sure that you do your part to make them feel good. True. As men, once we get old enough and we start to get involved with women and get in relationships, a lot of times we're afraid to show that same emotion and love that we show to our mom to these women. Yeah. Because we feel like we're going to be taken advantage of, we're going to be pushed to the side, and we don't want to offer that and then get our feelings hurt. But I'm like, in what perspective does being nice, or what perspective does offering a girl your time, your loyalty, your respect make you feel like a sucker? Like, I think that's what a lot of times what happens, and that allows dudes to transition away from the 50-50 rule.
That come back to that social media and music though, cause you feel me? It's like
environment.
It's society, society and nurture. Like shit, if you hearing everything like fuck that bitch, like man, I don't really need, like I ain't gonna show no love to her, cause you feel me? I don't really need her like.
And then they feel like if she bringing as much to the table as I am, like I said earlier, what she need me for? Like she gonna do me any kind of way, and she gonna automatically go to the dude who got more than me because I got just as much she got. True. And that's not the case. Like, women want you to provide, but nowadays they want you to. They don't need you to provide anything because they're capable of doing it on their own. And when men come to the understanding that I'm able to be a provider for her, but she's also able to provide for herself, it becomes a lot easier. Once you become comfortable with that, you don't need to have that mindset that, oh, if I'm not doing this, she gonna leave. And vice versa for women too. Like,
we gotta let y'all do that.
Let a man
when
leave.
When a woman let me do that, I feel so much more like a boss. You feel me?
Exactly.
Like, I got you, babe. Don't worry about it.
And I was having a conversation with a group of females before too, because the idea is that, like, we're so used to kind of just doing it on our own. Even just single people in general. You so used to moving how you want to move, doing what you want to do on your own time, and that when you get in a relationship, it's difficult to kind of counteract that. Exactly. And it's like, even then I had to tell, like, we as females have to be able to teach you guys what it is that we like and don't like. Y'all can't meet our expectations. We cannot meet your expectations if we don't tell y'all verbatim. I follow this thing and said we're not really strangers, and the text message the other day was, you cannot expect what you don't communicate very clearly. And that bad boy attacked me because we as females, we kind of expect a certain thing, but we don't make those expectations very known from the beginning of time. So even as a man that I'm with, if he feels like providing financially is the best thing he can do, I can't get upset because I didn't tell him what else I need from him besides his finances. So we have to make sure that we are very clear in these conversations, and then have to allow men to do that, and then y'all have to be confident in your ability to do that as well.
And another thing, hold on, from the audience, you can't get with somebody and try to change who they are 100%.
Man, that happens though. That happens a lot.
It do.
And I think the biggest part of that is, like, you are trying to find a certain level of love in somebody that may not have that just yet. That don't mean it's not available to you. Like, you need to understand, you gotta allow that person to grow into that, and it takes time. Like, people don't understand. Like for example, when you courting a woman, it's over time that you develop, because you're not gonna get it all right on the first go round. You might have a bad date in here, or you might say something that she may not agree with, and she may feel like, oh, this dude might be showing some signs. But you learn and you ask, hey, did I say something that bothered you? Or how do I communicate with you to get you to understand that I'm trying to learn you rather than trying to court you to get to something that I want?
Self-awareness.
Exactly. You got to be able to have self-accountability and say, I may not understand, but I'm able to learn if you're willing to teach me.
You said that. People have been ragging on season 4, and I really don't care. I love the show Black Love. It is a great representation of traditional and non-traditional stories of Black love. And it's so funny you said that, because one of the couples said, she made it very clear, like, this is what I'm expecting of you in this relationship. And he basically told her, like, I don't really know how to do that. Like, I don't know how to do X, Y, and Z.
That guy be me.
And it was a good moment, because she was willing to hear what he had to say, as far as, I don't know, but give me some time, I'll figure it out, or teach me, or show me, or I need to get in an avenue to where I can learn how to meet that expectation. Like, we have to have a level of self-awareness of where we know what we need, but we have to also be open to people saying, like, I don't really know. I don't really know how to do that. So if you can give me some encouragement, you can help me do it, coach me, we can do this together. Right, time and patience, because everybody's not going to have what you think that they should right then and there, because it don't work like that.
Social media spread the relationship life cycle.
Yeah, and what it should look like.
What it should look like. And I think once people feel like, all right, we both in our careers, both our jobs are stable, now we have a child, now we need to get married. I'm like, you need to actually time those things out, because while those things may be in order currently, in a 50-50 scenario, there can come a time where now it has to transition to a higher number on one side than the other, because your partner has to reach that level first, and you have to be patient enough to let that balance happen again. But once something becomes too one-sided, frustration happens.
And let us clarify, we had a pre-show to this conversation.
Exactly.
Trez made a very good point on the 50-50 rule. Is not just finances. A lot of the conversations that everybody's having on social media right now is just on bills. Who is going to pay what bill, and how are they going to pay for that? The 50-50 conversation goes into emotions and mental capacity and just everything in general. So when we're speaking on the 50-50 rule, it is literally everything across the table. It is everything that both people can provide in every single realm of the relationship, not just finances.
Because financially, why would you turn your relationship into a business partnership with emotional ties that ends with a contingency plan, rather than turning your relationship from going from a friendship out of love, turning into an empire, and it's built on character traits, not built on how much money we can make, or built on, we provide this. And that way it lasts longer, because your relationship, you're authentic with each other, and you're authentic with yourself to say, I'm trying to be the best version of myself for you, regardless if our finances are in order or not, regardless if we are readily emotionally available or not. We need to work towards those things, because at its lowest base, anybody can have any amount of money. Like you can look at Will and Jada, for example. They can provide for each other left and right, but their relationship didn't work out. Why? Because it's other things that need to happen and need to be in order to create balance. Like, finances are not going to create balance. One person being a primary provider and the other one taking care of the household is not going to provide balance. Or two people able to provide for the household and able to take care of things is not going to provide balance. It's the other things, being emotionally available, having reassurance, being patient, allowing people to grow in a timely manner and not getting frustrated with the time.
Knowing when somebody can leave, knowing somebody can take the back seat, like,
because you understand, like, because especially like with our ladies, like, man, ladies have such a powerful aura around them. Like, their intuition is so much different than a man's intuition, because we try to think of everything in logic, and when we do that, our focus seems to get channeled into one thing. Like, I know this is happening because of this. No, you need to think outside of the box, and a lot of times we need to go to our women to understand, hey, I'm having problems seeing this through. Can you help me? And a lot of times women will point you in the right direction.
Every time.
It may not.
Every single time. The Bible says that men find blessings when they get the right woman. Like, there is not a decision that my daddy has ever made that he has not considered my mother in. Like, there is not one. That head of the household thing is amazing. My family is run biblically. God lead the man lead the wife lead the children. That's how my household is run. It has worked perfectly fine. That's just how I'm gonna live my life. But there is not a decision that my daddy has made that has never gone through my mama. Like, it always run through her. Granted, he make the final decision, the final say so, but he asks every single time, from the doorknobs to the trash to the dishes to what we eating. Yeah. He asks her and invites her opinion into it. If you invite a woman, even just as friends, I think we have to get a better understanding. I think if we get a better understanding of friendship, we would get such a better understanding in relationship, because it starts off with friendship. True. If you as men don't have women that are your friends that care about you and your well-being, you will never understand how impactful a female's opinion could be to your decisions that you are making, and vice versa. I don't do anything without any of these three dudes knowing. I make all my decisions after I speak to females and the males that I trust. Like, you have to surround yourself with men and women who can push you in that direction, even as just friends.
Exactly, because what that does is it gives you that outside opinion and view, and it allows you to gain understanding of your woman. As cliche as that may be, like, men understand other men, women understand other women, and you need to find that balance. The hardest thing in that, though, is understanding that you have to do that, but in a set of coordinates of boundaries. Like, you have to understand, while you do have female friends, and that's a part of the balance in your life, you need to make sure that your significant other understands that that's all it is, and it provides insight to you to help her and to help you be a better person for her, and vice versa, you be a better person for him. And I think a lot of times with the 50-50 rule, it turns into, well, your friend said you're not doing this, but she's getting this from her man. I mean, it turns into a competition now. And it's like, well, Kiki, man, pay all the bills and do this, and she get to do whatever she want, but you don't let me do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't go into a relationship, right, and you know how this person is. You know this person can afford, but get jealous because the next person, boy or girl, giving them that, and you not getting. You can't go in there and just, say
because you don't know what's going on in there. She getting a Birkin bag, but she getting beat up. Like, you don't know.
And then 5 seconds later,
you don't know what's happening.
5 seconds later, you call a nigga, he ain't shit, he ain't no husband. Nigga, you know what you was getting into when you got into it.
And that's the next thing I like to talk about, the 50-50 rule. A lot of dudes want to utilize that I can take care of you as a bargaining chip for control. Like, a lot of men don't understand. I want to have control over you. I want to have control over you, so I'm going to provide for you, but I'm not going to be there emotionally. I'm not going to be there mentally to support you and help you get through your hard times. And a lot of times, a lot of women get trapped like that because from their side, they think it's real love. They think it's, he really cares about me because he wants to do these things for me. But really, it's just a bargaining chip to say, I want to be able to have control just in case something don't fall through somewhere else. And that's totally unfair to the women, man. Like, and I tell dudes all the time, be mindful that when you offer something to a woman and she takes it, don't utilize it or say, now you owe me, because that's something you offered her. And that's her opportunity to take. And I get tired of dudes saying, well, I did this, I feel like she should do that.
That's the old nigga buying a drink at the bar type
shit. Yeah, like, bro, what gave you the clearance to say she owed me now?
And I gotta shout out to but I gotta really check the females on that too, because at some point in time, you start really asking yourself, like, okay, is he doing this like because he genuinely care? He do this because he wants something? Like, what is the purpose of it? Like, there was a girl, literally, my daddy showed me on the Wendy Williams show. She was like, I've been talking to this dude and he been putting me in resorts and buying me this and buying me that. And Wendy was like, do you like him? And she said no. And we all looking at her like, sis, like, why are we still doing this? Because you wasting your time and you wasting his time. Because at the end of the day, you already know you ain't vibing like that. So why are we doing this?
And now the emotions done got tied into the finances.
Now we frustrated. Now men is crazy. Yeah.
Even when it's like that, a girl getting spoiled, she getting what she wants. And then, you know from the beginning of what it's going to go with.
Yeah.
You know what it could go with. So while you getting spoiled, and then you allow a man to, listen, into your body, and you start catching feelings, that's your fault, because now that entanglement,
that man say entanglement.
This is the thing, though, man. Honestly, though, that's still two-sided, though. That's it take two to tango, man. And a lot of times, that's where the conflict comes, because it's like, I'm going to get over on this dude because he giving me this stuff. I really don't like him, but I'm going to get over him. And vice versa. I'm finna get over on her because I'm providing this. I'm going to utilize it to my advantage. why are we utilizing what the money we make or the ability that we have to get somebody to do something for us as a bargaining chip for our relationship?
Because that's all we got.
Listen, bro. That's prostitution.
That's virtually like that's
put a title on it.
And then a lot of men and women are confused as to why things don't work out in a relationship. That's not.
It started with prostitution.
That's not what the 50-50 is about.
Prostitution, entanglements, like
I'm paying for this, and then now look, now fellas getting involved and shit. Now you want more Breaking Bad?
No service that you provide to somebody should equate to the level of love that you have for them.
Right.
A service doesn't create that. What creates that is the true love that you show them, the ability to let them grow, the ability to trust them, the ability to give reassurance to them. Those are the 50-50 things that need to be bar none.
Love is not service.
Mm-hmm.
Love is not just service. Let me say that. Love is not just service, not just what you can do for somebody. Like it's not that. And I think that goes into your last question for the most part is just if things change and the idea of providing, the idea of nurturing, the idea of marriage, all of these things have to really be defined by that couple, have to be defined by people's like they have to have these necessary conversations because
all this be situational.
We're looking at things completely different nowadays. Like we expect more. Like I don't want you just to go. I want you to go out and work and come back alive. That's number one. But the other capacity of that is if I need to have a conversation with you, can I do that?
And
your grandparents weren't doing that back in the day.
Yeah, because it was grandpa go to work and go do this.
Come back
grandma
home.
take care of the house. And they might not even talk.
Like, at all. They ain't talk for 3 days. And they stay in the same bed.
But you know what they got? They got to understand it. And that communication that we don't see is what kept their relationship rolling.
That's the part.
But you know what make it different for us though? Because we see so much of things on social media that involve the communication of a relationship, and you only see the good things a lot of times in a relationship. You never see the behind the scenes stuff. Like when I watch
well, Drake made a video, and I know everybody was kind of Drake when he had the baby by the but Drake was like, well, everybody's relationship ain't good as it seems. Why do I need to do something like that? And it's true, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody out here, you know.
Exactly.
Doing sideline moves. You know what they doing, man. The starting bench, the starting five.
Hey, man, for real.
And that's why I always tell people, like, at what point does this mindset of I'm a provider and I'm a nurturer, why is that what we stop at? Why is that the both? Why are we not both providers and nurturers? Why are we not both helping each other grow emotionally? And why are we not both helping each other spiritually? Because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be a unit in love, not two separate entities.
It's one.
You're supposed to be one as a group, as a whole. And I think once we gain the logic of understanding that, then all bets be off on, I don't care what you bring to the table financially. While that is a big foundation of our relationship, but I'm with you for you. So we can get this money together. We can always make sure we all right. But can we grow as a unit to our best potential as people? Because at the end of the day, you can't take no money with you when you die. And your relationship, ain't nobody be like, oh man, they look so happy because they got a lot of money.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be, they look so happy because they communicate effectively. They've grown together. They smile and they fight through the adversity.
I think that's the nurture though, bro. Cause what you call them? Shit, niggas. The Ari buying money bag. You feel me? Money bag. You feel me? Yep. All that shit is glorified. You feel me? Who the fuck got cash for that?
And that's the thing. And then when they put it out there, they like, oh, your man don't love you because
these goals.
And I'm like, so when they was arguing, he pulled off her wig. Hey, what made that a goal? Like what? That wasn't no goal.
Come on, man.
Or even for example, Cardi B and Offset get divorced.
Yeah. Them
Cardi B said on WAP, I don't cook, I don't clean, I still got this ring. And what happened? A lot of people rocked and rolled with it. A lot of people let it roll. Man. Now it's over with, and it's like, man, like that's why I tell people stop letting social media, stop letting music, stop letting others' relationships influence your relationship because. It's like snowflakes. No two are the same. No two are the same. And your love and what you have with somebody else is for you to cherish and you to love.
That's y'all experience.
That's y'all experience, man. And it could be a beautiful experience. And nobody will ever know.
And you have no idea what your relationship is supposed to show other people.
Exactly. Like you only thing that's supposed to be found out is I love you, you love me, and we gonna grow together. We care nothing about what anybody else thinks. I think a lot of times that's what it turned into.
That's what needed to be rewrote though.
And that's why our third question that come into play is
update that shit.
So does the original structure of gender roles need to be updated in modern times? Why not? So you already know my stance. I believe it does because I think men, we need to take more accountability in being emotionally available.
Yeah,
we need to take more accountability in being nurturing. And we need to be more mindful that our women, especially our black women, our beautiful black women, are strong enough to lead the charge. Yeah. Let them lead from the front.
Yeah.
And you can also understand that being part of you leading is being a servant leader. Being of service to her will make you the best version of yourself because she will show you the ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of men don't see it like that. Mm-hmm. They believe being a leader is I pay all the bills and I make all the decisions.
She do what I say. Mm-mm.
You're not leading. Mm-hmm. You're not leading. You know what you're doing? You enabling her. You're ruling. You're dictating her. And she's too great and she has too many wonderful skills and too many natural auras around her for you to hold her back like that.
That
Let her
belittling. That belittling them.
It does. And a lot of times
she's shrinking and suffocating herself.
And a lot of times I hear women say, "Oh, I'm fine if my man pays the bills with being submissive." Being submissive is one thing, but also understand you don't have to take everything in being submissive.
And even being submissive is really not. It's not equal to weakness. It's not equal to you just doing whatever you want to do and getting away with it. Like that is not what the role of submission is supposed to be. It is literally just me trusting that even after we have a conversation together, I trust that you will make the best decision for our relationship, for our family, all of that good stuff. Like she still has to be accounted for. And I think it goes into us women being able to see that as well, like seeing other women be heard in their relationships and their marriages, like understanding that they have something to say and that they don't have to shrink. Mm-hmm. They don't have to suffocate. They don't have to think that, okay, well, just because he's doing X, Y, and Z that I'm all right. Because no, you can want more than just finances. You can want more than just a house. Like you can want somebody that you can talk to, that you can trust, that you can be with, that you can be safe with. Like there are other things that I think at our generation that we are longing for and we calling it out now that nobody could do before because they just didn't have the capacity. They ain't had the time. Like now we got time.
That's how women are though. Like women back in the G, like when gender roles was first created, had very like little. You feel me?
That's it.
But now come look 2020, you feel me? Like what is it? Black women are the most successful entrepreneurs or something like that.
Exactly.
And then the most degrees, all that.
Shout out to the black women too, bro.
They educated. They had a mind. They had a head on straight. Mm-hmm. They have the ability to do so many things. And as men, again, I don't understand why we fear that. We should embrace that because at the end of the day, that's going to help us get to where we need to get to. And I think a lot of times men suffer from my ability to provide is my power. If that's only based in finances, then you ain't got no power because you need to be able to provide safety. You need to be able to provide emotions. You need to be able to provide an environment for her to grow. Yeah. And if you don't do that, then you truthfully not a provider. You just a paymaster in my book.
What you calling? Some niggas feel like if they basically like how they look at their homeboys, they look at their relationship too. Like you know how some people want you to do good but not better than them.
Yeah,
they feel like that about their woman. Shit, nigga like me, well, go ahead. You feel me?
Number one, got it.
I'm be your number one fan because like at the end of the day, I'm a reflection of you and you're a reflection of me.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want people to be able to say, damn, Trey's girlfriend got it going on. She's doing her thing.
Yeah,
and I know, and she gonna tell them, he influenced me to do well and inspired me just like she inspired me. It's full circle. And that energy transfer, like a lot of people don't realize how much positive energy transfer, man. That's synergy.
Dana Chanel, I think that's her name. She on Instagram. Her and her own, I forget what her and her husband do, like tax trading or something.
All that, because she got with the Curl Bible, she got Sprinkle of Jesus, she got all of that.
Sprinkle of Jesus?
That's Sprinkle of Jesus.
I fuck with their relationship, bro. I follow them just solely. She's beautiful, you feel me? And then, like, I found out she got a husband, I'm like, damn, what he do? They motherfucking run it up together.
And it's crazy because he was, and it shouldn't matter, but he was just as big as she was, and then it monetized, like, greatly once they got together. So even, what you finna say?
Nah, so I'm about to say, well, no, go back to what John said, but how do y'all feel upon, you know, a man and a woman being on the same level towards, like, ambition-wise? You know what I'm saying? Because they had to have levels.
Yeah, I think they got that, though. You feel me? Like, we got to be level, like, like-minded. You heard me? Like, in a relationship. I can't be the only one that's grinding. You feel me? Like,
and the thing is, we also have to understand, too, you have to inspire. What you think may inspire your significant other might not be it. You have to find out how to inspire them because simply telling her, oh, I want you to get up and go do something because you're not motivated, that's not going to help. You need to find the proper way to inspire and motivate your significant other because what that does is create an environment for them to say, okay, they actually believe in me and they not chastising me for not doing something.
That's like the difference between like go to the gym and like come on, babe, let's go
to the gym. I see the dedication you put into your diet.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah, I think it changes the game when you do things together. Granted, even like in Dana Chanel and her husband's case, they're doing a lot of things separately and they're also doing things together. Every relationship is not going to be a business relationship. Let me just say that. Every relationship is not going to be one where we both doing this together and we building the brands. Like, it ain't going to work like that. But I do think it helps, as you said, like finding the interest of your significant other, but also supporting them. Because there's a lot of people to where they just say, well, you need to lose weight, go to the gym. Right. But it's different when you say, let's go to the gym together on Mondays and Wednesdays, and we're gonna do this together. I think that helps with
take on the task.
Even if it's different levels in ambition, like it helps to build that partnership and that connection, even that friendship, to know like I'm doing something that you may not want to do, but you're doing it because you know I need to do it and I need that encouragement from you. And so it helps with that ambition piece.
And even on top of that, like that small bit of reassurance, because like a lot of times people struggle with what they're doing something. They know it's for the greater good, but they struggle because they feel like it's not moving fast enough.
You don't know how much your opinion matters to the person that you with.
It could be as simple as, I see you working hard. They keep going. Like just because it's small process. Like I tell them, slow progress is better than
words matter, man. Words really do matter.
It could simply be a text message like, hey, keep going. I know you're tired. I know the day's been rough, but you making it through. Just keep pushing and keep grinding. And I got you if you need anything. A lot of times that work more than any $100,000 purse you can go buy, any SUV you can go purchase. You know why? Because at the end of the day, are you showing me that you have my best interest at heart, and that's real love. Like a lot of times men don't know how to display that. Like they feel like, oh, she gonna be all right. No, like,
get out your feelings, man. That's one horrible behind phrase, bro. Get out your feelings, like. Come on.
Or why you acting like that? You tripping.
It ain't even that big of a deal.
Dog, like I don't think y'all understand how much women mentally have to challenge themselves and go through, and they step up to the challenge every single time. Things that we avoid, women attack head on 10 times out of 10. You know why?
I'm trying to tell you.
Because the ball has they've always tried to put women behind the ball, especially black women. They never want to see a black woman succeed in anything, and that's other black men, other men, white women. I don't get the logistics why, especially what's going on in the world today. Why are we not embracing our women to be the best version of themselves? While we rather have control over them.
Pride.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what Brock just said though. What you have posted, you're like, we need to start riding for our women. Yeah. I seen a nigga say that we ride for our women, whatever he was saying. But what you call it?
So I posted this, and this guy was like, "What the fuck you mean? Oh, black men was he was like, stop listening to the white person. Black men was riding hard at Black Panther. Nigga, that's 40 years ago.
Listen, that's the thing.
Black Panther.
That's the thing. That's
Come
the
on,
thing.
man.
Like, we don't got that no more. Like,
and even then, we don't even know the real capacity that the women had in being a Black Panther. Because they was ones too.
Exactly. And then on top of that, like, let's be realistic. Y'all only want to protect the black women when you find her attractive. Because how many of these black women we see on the daily basis that get dead?
Or she do something for you.
Or she do something for you. You don't care about her. Like, no.
Yeah.
Be mindful that. Protect all black women. Not just, the black women that you love. And no, all black women. If you see a black woman out in public and you see her struggling, you see somebody disrespecting her.
Hold the door. Help her with her
Hold
groceries.
the door. Good morning. Good
doing.
afternoon. Like, hope you have a great day. Like,
nice.
I like your shoes.
Because me, I work in an environment where I work with plenty of young women, black women. And I watch them go hard every day. And I always give them the reassurance like, hey, you're doing a great job, or don't let what somebody say to you, or don't let anybody tell you that you're not. Because you're an amazing woman, you're a beautiful, strong woman, and you're intelligent. And that's going to take you further in life than anything that any man could ever offer you.
Bro, that shit gonna stick longer than a light, boy.
You
know how somebody like a picture? That shit stick in their head for a couple months.
And I think men fail to validate the importance of women. They don't show women that, hey, you are important and what you do is amazing. They rather downplay it to keep themselves on a pedestal.
Absolutely.
And that's what happens in gender roles.
Adding it to the other side as well. We have to be mindful of us speaking life into each other, because at the end of the day, we don't know what it's like to be a man, and y'all don't know what it's like to be a woman. So at the same time as you guys are telling men that they need to be more mindful of the things that they say, we as women have to be mindful of that as well, even as specific to our arguments, specific to our disagreements. Like, granted, we'll king a man to death, we will good morning and good afternoon. We appreciate you like you growing as a man. But when the arguments happen, the things that most women do, I ain't putting myself in that category. I don't care.
Man, women could be hurtful, dog.
And be nasty. The things that they say. Be nasty
and
throw things.
And want you to be friends after that.
Exactly. And we have to be mindful of what we're saying.
And you know what the problem is with that too? Is because men lead with their ego. And women can stroke your ego in one motion and just totally destroy it in the next motion.
Real quick.
But you know what hurt me? If I be so emotional, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm teared up, you know what I'm saying? And she throw that shit in my face.
They gonna throw it back, bro.
They gonna throw it back,
you see why, you know why I find that to be a problem, though? Because when she going through that, we ask her, well, why you crying or why you in your feelings, like Josh said.
Now we can't throw it back.
Now we can't throw it back. Now it's all about understanding that.
And even then, call the behavior out. Like, I vented to you. I shared that with you. Like, that should not have been something that you threw back in my face.
Pride get in the way right there. Right there. Because it's like, not only am I hurt, and then not only did you throw it in my face, now I got to cry to you and like, damn, you hurt my feelings. You feel me?
And a lot of times, people don't want to, and rather say, I hurt, like, my feelings were hurt when you did that. Oh, let me hurt your feelings so you can feel the pain.
Yeah, I got you.
And that's what we do as women. As women, it's easier to knock your ego down because at the end of the day, if you really think about it, the only thing that really bothers a man and a woman's mindset that we can like really hinder is your emotions, is your manhood or your masculinity in our vulnerable spaces. Like we can't affect your money. We can't tell you that you're not the shit. Like the only thing that we can do is tell you that you're weak or that you're not doing this or not that you're not doing something as a man should do it. And that's the only thing that's gonna break y'all down. That's the only reason why women do that as a weapon. But we have to stop doing that.
And you know why? And you know why it's such a working mechanism? Because that's all we utilize to justify being a man.
See?
And as men,
that's our only role, though.
That's the only role we allow ourselves to take because somebody somewhere 60 years ago wrote it on a piece of paper and said, "This is what men do."
But the thing is, I think what it comes to difference is if you grown up in the hood and you grown up in a regular place. And when you growing up in a household that's not in the hood,
you don't
see love, you know, your dad ain't gonna tell you, stop crying, little nigga. You know
come here, man. What's wrong with you, boy? What's wrong with you?
And if your dad gonna like, oh, it's okay, Johnny, it's okay, Jim.
Get you in the hood. You gotta stop crying.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing, like, and like, I know a lot of us come from those environments and we see these things, and I think we have a stronger sense of what love is because sometimes we ain't never seen it up close, but we get confused when we do see it because like, is it real?
Life,
like, is it real? Like, is this something that
expose yourself to something?
Is this something I feel? And I feel this, but I'm afraid that this is not real because every other time I've seen it, it ain't been there.
Boy, I see that shit. I'm like, it still real. Let me run away.
Yeah, because it's like, is it too good to be true? And I think as men, you gotta understand, dog. Let your emotions flow. Like, let your emotions flow with your woman. Because on the contrary, women actually prefer you to be vulnerable and have the ability to be vulnerable.
So they could throw it in your face.
No.
but like partially, it's more so because now you're showing her that you're capable of expressing your emotions to her, and she can help build you up. She don't always gotta sit there and compliment you when you high. Right. She can see you be low and bring the best out of you. And that is the mark of a woman. Like, they have the ability to do that, but we try to hide it and stop them from doing it by saying, I'm a man, I could be strong. I'm gonna be the rock in the relationship by doing that. And then when our woman need us, the rock that we supposed to be, we can't help because we don't know how to emotionally provide.
Are you telling me to get out my feelings?
So that's why gender roles the terms and conditions need to be updated. Like iOS 14 just came out. Gender roles need to get on the iOS 14.
Gender roles so far behind.
Because it's like, at what point are we going to stop limiting each other?
That's all it is.
Enhancing each other.
That's all it is.
It's literally a limit to you a man, that's all you can do. You a woman, that's
no,
all
you can't do that. You a woman.
They need to throw away the Zodiac app too, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Take me how far I am. You know what I'm saying? And I think it counts. Don't tell me I'm emotional. You know what I'm saying? That ain't true.
And you know what it is? Like, what's crazy is I don't know. Like, this is off topic. I don't know what's up with Zodiac signs, but I think personally, I think when you read that stuff, and it's like natural natures of life. Once you read some stuff, you gonna believe it, and it start to come to fruition right in front of you.
Did you see some truth in it?
Yeah, I know this me. I know that's me. I know I done did this before. Yeah, they right on spot on today. And I think a lot of times, like a lot of people,
happen one day out the year.
Exactly. Like a lot of people be like, oh, I can't be with somebody that's the same sign as me. You don't know that.
Bro,
right?
I don't know that.
You don't know that.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. I do be looking at them compatibility signs and shit though.
And see, that's too much to think about. Now I gotta check to see what sign you are, what sign, what part of the month of that sign you are. Like, are you an August Virgo or are you September Virgo? Like, this too much. I ain't got time for that.
Because I think a lot of people cheat themselves out of a great friendship or even relationship because like, oh, that person a Virgo, I can't be cool with them. Or this person a Aries, like I can't date them. What's wrong with
Libra
you?
season. Y'all can talk about Libra, bro. You feel
me? And then the Libras too, y'all boys be cool, man.
Okay.
And then people want to make y'all seem like y'all just either too emotional or not emotional enough.
I ain't trying to this conversation. I ain't got nothing to do with
and then, like I said, you see people, and you be like, they the same sign. They don't act like Doug. Everybody different.
I don't get it, bro.
But in people logic, all Aries or all Leos or all whatever.
One thing I would stand though, bro, is that all Taurus are like.
See, I'm so done. Anyway,
he gonna talk about killing the zodiac, but now he gonna say the zodiac.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you one though, because Mike and my first ex got along perfectly fine.
But Mike get along. I've never seen Mike not.
That's
Mike,
a good vibe.
Tunes,
man.
I've never seen Tunes not get along with anybody but you. And you know what? You always beefing with the man, dog. You always got the man.
But you.
Man, he always messing with my dog Tunes, man, because Tunes a real go with the flow type person.
Yeah. But
on that latter note, man, we're gonna go ahead and close off this session, man. Definitely some good gems. You can check out this video. It will be dropping on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. It will be available. The audio will be available this upcoming week.
Legacy Brand Podcast.
Most definitely, man. Check us out, man. There's a lot of videos. Subscribe, hit that like button on YouTube. Share
add a conversation.
And then if you feel free to comment and speak on some topics that y'all want us to talk about.
I like some ideas.
Before we close out, what would you just throw out as a suggestion of how gender roles need to be updated on any gender? Like what are some specific things that you think are necessary to be updated? Specifically, because you got to get people specifics and practical stuff.
Exactly, and then just shoot it to us in the comments, man. We're gonna look at all this stuff, we pay attention, and we have monthly meetings based on the content we want to give y'all. So again, man, feel free to comment, subscribe, like, share, and show us some love, man. We definitely want to make sure we get valuable information out to the people and just have conversations that generally benefit the masses. You dig? So we'll see y'all boys in a couple weeks, man.
Justice for Breonna Taylor.
Man. Period.
That's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to the Legacy Brand Podcast. Share, like it, and repost it. Even leave us with a review. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms and stay tuned for the next episode.